If you're one of the 2.5 million New Yorkers without internet at home, borrowing internet is now just as easy as borrowing a book. Just go to any New York public library in Manhattan, show your ID, fill out a form, and then check out a hotspot device. Then you'll be connected anywhere you go. DoSomething.org opened its offices here on West 19th Street to protesters in the Shut It Down movement. They could use the space for bathroom breaks, phone charging, or just to take a break from the cold. If you can't beat them, join them. Councilmember Ben Kalos is urging the city to launch a universal e-hail app so riders can order a black car, taxi, or Uber in a city minute. Money can't buy new subways or happier commuters. The MTA says its $15 billion funding gap for new system upgrades means riders won't see faster services, new trains, or new stations like this one at Fulton Street for at least 25 years. Like these labels but can't afford it?
Louis Vuitton, Fendi, Chanel.
There's a market available to you right here on Canal Street, even though it's illegal. Alyssa Mayer traveled all the way from New Jersey today to get her hands on some designer purses.
I went into a van one time and I drove around for like 3 blocks looking in like bags for purses.
Vendors illegally sell high-end counterfeit items for a fraction of the price. All you have to do is walk and listen. Today, we went to see just how easy it is. Did you say you had designer handbags?
Yeah, what kind of bag?
Less than 30 seconds after we stepped onto Canal, this woman led us down 2 blocks to where the knockoffs were being sold out of black plastic bags.
Which one? Michael Kors, Tory Burch?
This woman was selling everything from Louis Vuitton, Tory Burch, to Chanel and Tiffany's jewelry. But as soon as they got a glimpse of our camera from afar, they scattered. That's because what they're doing is illegal and cops are watching. Just this month, the NYPD and Homeland Security took down 3 different counterfeit operations, one large one in Queens and 2 others in Midtown Manhattan. Authorities say they seized hundreds of bags, watches, and other counterfeit items. And if Councilwoman Margaret Cheng has her way, you too could suffer the consequences. Cheng wants to impose a fine on the buyers who purchased the fakes. According to Chen's proposal, if you're caught, you could face a fine of $1,000 or even jail time for up to a year.
A $100 bag or a $500 fine, it doesn't make any sense, you know?
It's not like anybody can really see when you buy them.
You're gonna pay the same if you buy a real purse, then the fine too.
But the bill doesn't have a ton of support. Some council members say that this isn't the best way to allocate police resources around the city. In Chinatown, I'm Rebecca Cheng. On the corner of West 10th Street, you'll find Bonnie Slotkin's Cookbook Shop, a place where chefs and wannabes go for inspiration.
With stores like Barnes & Noble, yes, I mean, I will go there. By and large, most of the books, I call it plasticized, you know, they're such general things.
From Indian cuisine to chocolate recipes, Bonnie's is the only shop in New York City you can find recipes from the 19th century.
I usually say my price ranges from 20 cents to $200, and there's very little up at the top.
But books don't pay the bills.
14 is fine.
Bonnie pays about $2,300 in rent plus property tax a month, an amount she says is stifling, and still her landlord is refusing to renew her lease.
This year the landlord asked for the property tax to be paid in a lump sum at the beginning of the year, which was $13,000. And that's actually a good way to get rid of a tenant.
Bonnie isn't alone. According to the Small Business Congress, about 1,000 mom-and-pop shops are being squeezed out because landlords are looking for higher-paying tenants. Now, she has the burden of moving 4,000 books by the end of January. Bonnie says a couple saw her story and offered her space 3 times the size for about the same price in the East Village. But she thinks the city needs legislation to protect small business owners.
The City Council has to get it together and pass some legislation that they've been sitting on for years that will create some kind of commercial rent control.
This year alone, reports show at least 10 small businesses have been forced to relocate from their original space. In Greenwich Village, I'm Rebecca Cheng.